I think you can pause this one.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. At this time, we'll be moving into a question and answer portion of your digital portfolio. Thank you, Nazanine. You gotta take a breath here. At this time, I'll open the floor. Mr. Alec, Mr. Check.
First question. In your intro, you took an AP test. What topic?
The AP test was for French language and cultures.
Okay, thanks. And you mentioned in your improvement plan, perseverance, you use your brain first. Can you give me an example of what that means, like using your brain first versus?
So what I meant by that was more like if it wasn't something that came to me naturally or something that was particularly easy for me to do, then I would kind of just look at it and rather wait until the last minute to do it or just completely like turn it in late or just like not do it. It's something that I've struggled with through all of my school years, but yeah, it is a little bit of an issue, but that's what I meant by that, yeah.
Nazanine, can we take a look at the refinement section? You shared with us a little bit about your math and your math improvement. Share with me a little bit, what does refinement mean to you? Quick one-sentence definition. How did you exhibit that from these math grades here? What specifically did you do to refine your math habits? Share with us a little bit more about this experience.
So refinement to me means working harder on yourself to more, like, to better yourself, to get to the, like, because you know what you can do, you know what you can achieve, but by working harder and harder to kind of get to that point, it's really crucial, and that's what refinement means. And then how I applied that to my math work was that when I came, also while I was gone a little bit, I noticed that I was getting some assignments. I know Renee really helped me like keep track of what I was doing. I was getting like constant like messages about what we were doing, and so I was really kept in the loop. But when I came back, I was still kind of dumbfounded, and what I did to work harder to refine myself was to look back on the work that I didn't understand. I would ask my table mates for help. I would ask Mr. Alec for help. I would try my hardest just to study and just try and grasp the material a little better.
Thank you so much.
No, for me, did you ever, so my question is going to be like about how do you plan to be held accountable for compassion, for being or acting out in terms of compassion? Like what do you see yourself doing different in respect to compassion?
I know compassion is something that I could struggle with a little bit, but yeah. So in order to really help myself with that, it would kind of just be like, I know I'm really compassionate with the people in my family, like they know me as a very compassionate person and like my close friends, but maybe branching out to other people and maybe talking to them more, and just kind of not really paying attention if I know them a lot or not, or just like they don't have to be my best friend, but I would really like to like branch out more and be more compassionate towards other people that I don't know as well.
Nazanine, can you share with us a little bit more about perseverance? You shared with us your chain reaction experience. You identified a problem of procrastination. Can you share with us some specific detail? How do you work through procrastination? When do you identify that this is me, I'm being a little off task? And what specific steps did you take to persevere through have a quality chain reaction project?
So I'll notice when I start procrastinating, I will kind of get off task really easily, and I'll get distracted a lot easier than I would if I was just like focusing more on my work. Because without that like focus, then I'll kind of just like goof off and procrastinate more. And then I feel like with the second part of the question about the chain reaction, I'm sorry.
How do you persevere through procrastination? How you've identified it? Fantastic.
Yeah.
What do you do to get out of that?
So to get out of that, like perseverance, I feel like is very important to kind of, I feel like that's the main way you can get out of that. But in order to persevere, like I feel like I just kind of have to switch my mindset and think about the consequences of also like if I don't do my work, then I'm either going to get bad grades or I won't be able to understand what I'm doing, basically. But yeah. And so with the chain reaction project, I thought, well, if we don't finish this first project, what are my teachers going to think of me if I can't simply work with another student to make this work? And I feel like that kind of just like got me through that, because I was like, well, I don't want to have a really bad first impression on my teachers and all my peers. So Yeah, so that perseverance really helped me go through with all the procrastination, all of our roadblocks to finally get to that final product.
My last question relates to perseverance. Is it easy to switch mindset? Share with us a little bit about your experience.
Absolutely not. No, it is not easy. It's something that I've definitely had to work on in the past because procrastination has been a really big deal for me all throughout my school years. But I've definitely worked on persevering more and kind of getting out of that mindset. And when I like do that, I kind of just try my best. Like I'll probably put some music on just so I can like just focus on that and then what I'm doing. I do that a lot actually with everything.
Yeah, thank you so much. All right, that's it for me.
With regard to your funding council, what were you happy with the end result? And second, what would you have done different to, if not, to get to a place where it was to your standard?
Yeah. So our end product, I was really scared that we were not going to pass because we were literally adding things the last second, right before testing, hot gluing chairs in. I know you saw me probably right as we were walking. I was like, wait, just give me a second. I need to do this. But yeah, so it was just, it wasn't my best work. And me and Renee both know that. Like, it wasn't our best work. And I feel like to get to a better point, we probably could have stayed after school some days. We could have maybe even brought it home and done stuff at home. And just to make it look better and kind of work a little better, be more like convenient. But yeah, I feel like we probably could have worked harder in general, just to achieve our final product.
Good.
Good as well, Mr. Allen. Okay. You got something?
Okay, nice, beautiful presentation. You covered a lot. The brain was just firing. But I do want to touch base on compassion, refinement, and perseverance, but you're not going to find it in your notes. So I'm going to challenge you on compassion. You showed and you have examples of compassion outwards. Outwards. I want to hear about the compassion inwards.
Well, I guess
through the experience and through.
I guess showing compassion to myself. I think one good example would be probably playing tennis. One way that I showed compassion was especially during games, like you mentioned during our banquet, especially how even after games, even if I lost, all I wanted to do was play. All I want to do is play. And even if I lost, I still had compassion for myself because although maybe I wasn't doing my I wasn't working my hardest on the court, I still felt like fulfilled with playing. And even though I lost, I still felt compassion towards myself. But like, hey, I got the opportunity to play. I have the opportunity to play on this team and play against all these really good players. But yeah, like feeling compassion towards myself after those games was really crucial.
And refinement. So I'm a great example. And also listening to you in your presentations, asking from the educational aspect of it and what you discuss, what you share, and your challenges. So the refinements in your classes and through the steps you took this semester. Refinements on your compassion for yourself. What refinements? And let me help you a little bit because you talked about challenging situations and a pattern of maybe procrastinating, maybe.
But yeah, so refinement on compassion. That's a lot. But
refinement on you.
Yeah.
The compassion part is acknowledging to yourself that you like yourself and you're human and you want the best. That's what I heard through the whole presentation.
But yeah, so as a person, I always try my best for everything, especially in my personal life. Like my mom knows, like I will take any opportunity I can to get better at anything. Like one example I think I could pull is playing the piano. My mom sees me sit at the piano mostly every single day, for like at least like a half hour just playing. If I mess up, I'll try again, and it's just because it's so important to me to be a good piano player, because my mom was trained as a classical pianist. I've been playing for 8 years, and it's just something that's such a big part of my life, and being good at it, it would just like be amazing. It just makes me feel good to know that I'm at that point where I can be good at it.
And last one, persevere. So, there were some challenging subjects and things you took on this year, and you had great teachers teaching you and supporting you. Your perseverance, how is that, what you learned and what you went through is gonna help you next semester and help you start projects that you're not as enthusiastic about, let's say, at the beginning, and through that process you learned this semester. How's that gonna help you continue to persevere?
I feel like especially with my POL and my SLC, getting to learn more about the 7 habits of art and mind and kind of implementing them into my daily life a little more, and everything that Mr. Ted, Mr. Will, and Mr. Alec, and my ASB advisor, Mr. A, what they have taught me. And I feel like just putting everything together, like just trying to work hardest to be the best version of myself and just kind of push through is what everyone has been trying to like teach me. Like, I know I was talking with Mr. Ted with my speech, and he was like, well, what do you think about Inkwire? And I was like, well, I have my thoughts about it, but, and it was just like, but it's just one thing that it taught me, that I just have to push through it to like upload my assignments, even though I do think she's a little unnecessary, but that's fine, because I still have to do it when it's my role in the co-op to turn in my assignments. But yeah, so I feel like learning all of these things, and especially with this whole presentation, I will be able to take it into my like years of education, just kind of implement it and persevere.
All right, thank you so much, Nazanine. At this time, we'll be going into the feedback section. I'd like to start here.